everybody, and welcome back to F1 22 Driver Career Mode. My name is Chris, and today we're headed to the Dutch Grand Prix. Should be a fun one. If you haven't seen the last episode yet, the Belgian Grand Prix, we came ever so close to a really, really good result. You should go check that one out if you haven't seen it already. Here's the championship standings. Then Lando Norris absolutely flying ahead at this point. He has won so many races. He's only been off the podium for a single race, and that was in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix, where he started 6th, I think. So he's a bit further back for that one. May have taken a penalty. I don't quite remember, but yeah, he's absolutely dominating at the moment. We are in second, but as I keep saying, closer to third than we are to first. So we got work to do if we want to close the gap and have a championship fight, because there isn't really one at the moment, which is a real shame. But let's see if we can turn that around. We're going to be aiming for a race win here in Zandvoort today. So first step to that is a good qualifying. So out onto the track we go for Q1. Let's see where we can put this car. It's felt really good in practice. Let's see what we can do in anger up into the banking for the first time. You'll see I'm using very, very high gears around this track for the most part, just to keep the traction in check. You know what the traction's like in this game. It's tricky. So yeah, this is a very technical circuit, and we want to be keeping everything under control as we come up towards the line. What's it going to be for our first flying lap? 111.1, putting us at the top of the standings so far. And into the pit lane we go. We do top the timing tables for now then. Lando just a 10th behind, so as we go on, the track will rubber up, everybody will start improving, but losing out in Q1 is Alonso, Latifi, Schumacher, Joe and Schwartzman. Pretty much the same as every Q1 session. We're losing the same bottom teams. It's such a divide at the moment. I really hope that these teams develop into season 4. That would be really good to see. I'd like to see the field closer together. At the moment it's separating further apart, which is a real shame. So fingers crossed it all comes together. We're up again into Q2. This is the end of our first flying lap in the second session, and we've topped the timing tables yet again. 1:10.9, so we are finding more time, but Pierre Gasly found even more time. 1:10.85, just 4/100ths quicker than we are. So our car likes this track. It's very, very good round here. What's not very good round here is the Williams, the Red Bull and AlphaTauri and Aston Martin losing Verstappen, Perez, Magnussen, Tsunoda and Stroll from this session. Alex Albon in that Audi getting himself up into Q3, and we're going to enjoy a full lap now around Zandvoort. Coming round then to the back half of the lap, up to the line. Fastest again, but not as good as our Q2 time, so we should be a little bit worried there that the other guys will find more time. The two McLarens up to the line. Norris improved by a big chunk there, but yeah, Ocon not really finding the pace. However, we're going again on the same set of tyres, and we are finding a bit of pace. We're a 10th up there through Sector 2, losing a little bit as we head through this very twisty, tight section. But I think by the end of the lap, we might be able to find a bit more time. Sector 1 was purple, so fastest of all. Currently sat in third. If we can find the time in Sector 3, I think we could be on for a pole position here. Let's see what we can do as we come out of the final difficult corner, I would say. And onto the banking we go, and it's just flat out from here. But we've gone round and we're in the wall, and that is rear wing damage. That's qualifying over. So hopefully we can hold on to that third. But we've got some work to do in the garage. Third place it is, thankfully. Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari only managed to gain 6 100ths on us, and Lando getting into the 110s, the only driver to do so in Q3, sits himself on pole position once again. Let's see what we can do in the race.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside in races across Europe. Here this weekend, it's even easier to find the Dutch fans as they have a race to call their own once again. A warm welcome to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe, of course, as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. A lap of this short 2.6 mile Zandvoort circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with a 678 metre main straight heading into turn 1, Tarzan Corner. And on that straight with DRS open, that'll be the best overtaking opportunity on this track. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Marshall, Leclerc, George Russell and Ricciardo, Gasly, Ocon, Albon and Max Verstappen, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Robert Schwartzman and Sergio Perez. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Joe and Oscar Piastri. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Clutch bite is good, gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap, please.
Let's go racing, shall we? For the Dutch Grand Prix, starting on the soft tyre, so we can try and make up some time at the beginning. We're not the only ones. You can see Leclerc and Russell behind us, also on the soft tyre, but the two guys in front on the mediums. So we should be quicker than them. As we've shown in qualifying, we've got the pace.
Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get a good launch as the race starts.
Let's see what we can do at the race start.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights.
It's going to be crucial that we get a very good start so we can try and gain some positions. We don't often start well as the 5 red lights illuminate. And we are racing in the Netherlands, in Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz got an absolutely cracking start as Norris comes over to cover him off. And we're going to have a look round the outside here. Can we make the move on Carlos? I don't know if we quite got the pace there. We haven't. And Carlos has stayed ahead for now. But you can see the pace differential on the soft tyre to the medium. We're just on his gearbox already. And back here is a lot of action going on the first lap. Max Verstappen up into 8th place. Alex Albon sat behind in the Audi. We've got the McLarens. Here's Lando Norris in the lead of the race, 6/10 out already. So he's already finding a bit of pace. We've dropped off slightly along that straight, but we've got tons and tons of downforce on this car. So where it really counts in sector 2 is where we can make up a lot of time. But the straight line speed is still important because it's such a long straight that we've got to be able to keep pace with them, and we're just not really doing it. Into the corner, you can see we just gained so much time, but along the straight, he was pulling away even when we were deploying battery. There's no DRS yet, so it's a little worrying, to be honest. I mean, the DRS will help a little bit, but it won't be the be-all and end-all as we get up behind Carlos, and you can see on this straightish section, he's on it. He got his rear left tyre on the grass there, nearly lost it. We are going purple though through sector 1, so that's a good sign. Hopefully, we've got a long race here, 36 laps. We should be able to do something with this and hopefully go for a race win, but we don't want Lando to get too far away. If he breaks the DRS from Carlos before we get past him, it's going to be very, very difficult to catch him and make an overtake, especially around this track. It's very difficult to overtake around here. As we head on to lap 3, you can see just how close everybody is. Are we going to go for a move here on Carlos Sainz? I think we might do in the DRS zone. The DRS active now, of course, on lap 3. Round the outside we go, forcing him super close to that curb, and he just sort of bumped over it, and it's just unsettled his car. and we are through. But as I said earlier about Lando breaking the DRS, he's done exactly that, and that means that we are really going to have to push now. Carlos Sainz is coming back at us, so not only are we going to have to push, we're going to have to defend as well. As Carlos Sainz just sails by the outside. George Russell's there as well, taking a look, but he's locked up. He's gone straight on. We've gone through. George Russell says thank you very much, but he hasn't quite made the move stick. And Carlos Sainz very lucky there to keep his third place, because George Russell was right in there, ready to take that position off him. Those soft tyres probably at the point now where in the next couple of laps will start to fade, so we're going to have to look after them. And on to lap 7, we have been looking after them, but also gaining on Lando. We're just outside his DRS range at the moment. If we can just push a little harder, we might be able to get within it, as we have done there. Yellow flag behind. I wonder what's going on there. I can't see anybody stopped at the moment. That's Pierre Gasly. He's out of the race. That sucks for us. We need him to be scoring points in the Constructors, and he ain't going to be doing that today, is he? So that's a shame. Engine failure. We need to look at the durability again, perhaps. But all we can do now is focus on ourselves as we go purple. So we are bringing the pace. We are still gaining on Lando, even though the soft tyres now are 8 laps old. They don't last very long. But we've got to make a one-stop work, really, because everybody who started on the mediums will be going medium hard, I would imagine. So we're going to try go soft to medium, I would imagine. Maybe soft to hard, but that would be difficult to make moves under strategy, I think. But never mind strategy, it's all about the track position right now as we head onto the main straight, deploying battery, deploying ERS as well, deploying DRS, sorry, and he's just still pulling away even when we've got DRS. It's going to be very difficult if we do get past him, as we have a little look around the outside. Didn't quite make it work, but it's going to be so difficult if we get past him to actually hold position, because we're not going to be able to run away with it. I don't think we've got the pace for that. But yeah, holding him on the straights is going to be it's going to be a tall order. There's no doubt about that. What we are doing though is making the most of the pace that he has on the straights, and we've pulled out a big gap now, 3.5 seconds to Sainz. So I would say that second place is pretty safe as we just skate across the curve there. Did very well to keep that going in a straight line, and somehow we've not got any damage, and on sim damage that's pretty amazing, to be honest. But let's see if we can get anywhere close to Lando as we head towards the back half of the lap. You can see into the corners and carry so much more speed, but then coming out of them on the straights is just where it's all lost. So we might be able to do something here. 3/10 the gap at the moment as we head out. Here's a bit of a moment. As we go onto the banking, we're right there with him, deploying ERS with the DRS open. Can we make a move? He's going to force us to the outside. He's gone very defensive. We get a little bit of tyre on the grass, and he's still there. He's still there. We just haven't quite made it stick, unfortunately, but this is costing him tyre, which is good. Like, his tyre deg is going to be much higher fighting with us, but also us. We're trying to do a soft to medium, which is quite a task around most of the tracks on this season. So yeah, we need to be a bit more tactical, perhaps. I say that, but in the moment you're never really thinking like that, are you? So we'll see what happens. We have sort of run away in terms of our position at the moment. Leclerc is 7 seconds away in P5, Russell 4 seconds, Sainz 3, almost 4 actually, to be fair, but we're so close to Lando's gearbox. We're gonna have to go for it here, right? We can't not, as we go down the inside, almost making contact, forcing him a little bit wide, but crucially got through mostly cleanly. The question is, can we hold on to it? 6/10 is the gap as we head onto the straight, but is it going to stay that way? I don't think so. You can see it coming down already. The straight line speed of that McLaren is just insane. Somehow, though, we did pull out a gap. I think Lando made a mistake at some point. So we're coming into the pit lane, lap 13. We are going to put on the medium tyre and go to the end on this tyre. So hopefully this is a good strategy. I suspect we're going to see everybody else go from the mediums to hards. And it seems like it's been a good strategy so far. As the fuel is coming out and the tyres are up to temperature, we're setting the fastest lap, but we've got traffic. Ocon, Lando's teammate, he's going to be doing everything in his power. You can see he doesn't want to give this position up. forcing us to the edge of the track, but we are going to just keep our nose in for this one. Unfortunately, the straight line is just too much. We can't get past. So Ocon is doing a very good job for his teammate holding us up here. And it seems like he's going a little long. He's still on the medium tyre. I don't think he's pitted yet, but that was a sensational move down the inside. Not usually where you'd be seeing overtakes, I have to say. But now we've got to keep it because he's in the quick car, remember? And as we head on to lap 19, we have kept it just about, and we have jumped Norris. I say jumped, we were ahead of him. We've gained so much time. He was a second and a half behind us as we went into the pit lane, and as he comes out, he's now 5 seconds behind us. That bodes well if we can look after these tyres to the end. Of course, his hard tyres will last better, but we're on the hooker tyre for now. So if we can pull out enough of a gap, we'll have a buffer there towards the end of the race that we should be able to look after the tyres. And as we head on to lap 30, you can see the gap coming down, but the tyres are decent. However, he's in DRS range now for the next lap, which is worrying because we've still got to hold him for 5 laps. And you've seen how quick he is. As we get a yellow flag, that's a Red Bull off into the gravel. I think that's a retirement for them. Who is that, I wonder? Charles Leclerc, perhaps? No, Charles Leclerc is behind us, so it must be... I don't remember who's in the other Red Bull now. Is it Sergio Perez? I think it might still be Perez in the Red Bull. So many driver swaps across the seasons, I forget who's where, but yeah, Red Bull not having a fantastic weekend at the moment. But
Okay, this is your final lap.
On to the final lap of the race, and we are just holding Norris at bay because we've been saving the battery. You can recharge quite well around here because there's a lot of hard braking zones. So we should be good. I think we should be on for a race win, which will be sensational, especially after the accident we had in qualifying and just missing out last week in Belgium. We want this. We really want this. But he's getting so close. He's primed to make a move at some point. If we make a mistake, it's all over. We need to be so calm and collected here to the end of the race. But look at him. He's ready. He's getting himself in my mirrors. He's right there on the gearbox. That sort of little look up the inside might have cost him because on the exit, we're going to get a much better run as we come down in the DRS zone. He is not close enough to make a move, and I think that might be game, set, and match for us because there's nothing he can do now. He can't get alongside us, I don't think, up to the line enough to take the position as we come round the final corner up to the line. I think we've done it. 6/10 the gap, and we are going to win the Dutch Grand Prix.
Thank you. I need a moment. Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. He deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
What a great race then, and a magnificent victory here at the Dutch Grand Prix. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out of the track was: speed. It sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
There you have it. Another race win in the books. We need some more of those, to be honest, and let's hope that this is the start of a bit of momentum in our favour. We need to be challenging Lando for the championship, and we need to start doing it now, because if we don't, it'll all be over. We're 10 races in now, and at this point we really need to do a lot of work, and we need to hope that Lando has some less than ideal results for this to turn around. So we'll see how it all pans out in the next few races, and we'll assess it from there. But we got a win, we got fastest lap as well. So when we win, we seem to do it in style, which is great. So we'll take that, especially from third on the grid. That was sensational. I think we could have put it on pole if we didn't have that accident in Q3. But here's your result. Us in first, Lando in second, George Russell in third. That was a great drive from Russell. He is really, really performing in that Renault. But it does mean for us that we managed to pull out a little bit of a gap to third place, which is what we want to see. We want to be pushing up towards first. Constructor standings, not a lot changing. Williams swapped places with Audi, but McLaren are well ahead in this one, with Ferrari just behind us. And there you have it. That's the Dutch Grand Prix. Next up, Monza. Always a fun one. And yeah, we're going to have to work on the old straight line speed, though, aren't we? You'll see what we can do in terms of upgrades. If we've not put any on the car, we need to get on that. But let's see what happens. Should be fun. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, drop us a comment below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.